What if I told you we could detect and reverse disease years before symptoms ever show up using a blueprint hiding in your own mitochondria? This isn't future medicine. It's happening right now, and it's rewriting everything we thought we knew about chronic illness. Hi, I'm Mark Bates. I'm a metabolic health coach, and this is part of my question and answer series. The discussion is why metabolic disease is reversible if you do this before it's too late. Let's go to the question. Your phased approach reveals something profound about metabolic medicine, that timing and sequence matter as much as the interventions themselves. This challenges the conventional one-size-fits-all approach to metabolic health. Given what you've observed in clinical practice, how do you see this precision metabolic restoration model reshaping the future of preventative medicine, particularly in addressing the decades-long window between initial dysfunction and irreversible disease? Wow, this is impressive. The insights here about the paradigm shift that's unfolding right now are right on. From reactive disease management to proactive mitochondrial stewardship. That's what we want to move towards. The emerging model of precision metabolic restoration isn't just another dietary protocol. It's a fundamentally new operating system for medicine. It's dynamic, personalized, and sequence-driven, designed to intercept disease before it takes root. Here's how I see this reshaping the future of preventative medicine. 1. Metabolic dysfunction becomes the new pre-cancer. Just as we treat early colon polyps or suspicious breast lesions before they become malignant, we will start treating fasting insulin greater than 10 as a red flag. Instead of waiting for type 2 diabetes or heart disease to manifest, the presence of early mitochondrial impairment becomes a call to intervene. HOMA-IR, GGT, HRV, and triglycerides to HDL ratios will be seen not as wellness data, but as clinical indicators of pre-disease biochemistry. Prevention becomes preemption. Protocols will follow biology, not bureaucracy. Today's guidelines prescribe fixed macronutrient ratios or calorie limits. Precision metabolic medicine says, where are you in your mitochondrial timeline and what stressors can your system tolerate right now? This reframes the patient journey as a sequence of adaptations, not a single plan, and a dialogue between intervention and cellular readiness. Coaches and clinicians become navigators, not enforcers. Diagnostic lab panels will include mitochondrial capacity markers. If they're not in there now, we're going to start seeing them more, and we can always ask for them when you get your labs, right? And ask your doctor about these in your labs. So these are routine labs that in the future will likely include fasting insulin. Always should get that. GGT and HSCRP. That's the highly reactive markers for inflammation. Organic acid profiles. HRV baselines. Very few people actually measure your heart rate and how the variability is. Now, rather than getting that at the lab, because I prefer a better one, get yourself a watch that actually tracks your heart rate, and you can have that as part of your everyday function. That it does that. Really, it's a good function, and I do think that that's a good thing. And the watches are not that expensive anymore. And once again, if you're really getting there for athletic performance, you want your VO2 max or RQ, right? So that you really can see how your metabolism is working. Really important for athletes. These aren't functional medicine extras. They become standard biomarkers used to stratify risk 10 to 15 years before you start getting a diagnosis of a metabolic problem like prediabetes, diabetes, heart disease, stuff like that, right? Your metabolic age will become more relevant than chronological age. Clinical care will shift from static treatment to cyclical restoration. Medicine currently assumes that, and this is when you go to your doctors, right? They currently assume that disease is permanent and treatment is continuous and forever. Precision metabolic, especially for cardiac diseases, right? Precision metabolic restoration is rhythmic. Phases of unloading, rebuilding, and expanding. Periodic metabolic challenges, i.e., fasting, refeeding, ketones to maintain your flexibility. You need to change it up a little bit as you go through here, and we'll help you do that. We won't just manage disease. We'll cycle through health-building states the same way cells do with autophagy and renewal. This is right down into your cellular and biology. This is where your body reacts. We should treat yourself the same way. Maintenance becomes the rhythmic adaptation in your lifestyle, not medication. Okay? Yeah, here's my Ghibli picture. I like that. Okay, health coach becomes the primary architect of reversal. Because this model is personalized, sequenced, and behaviorally intensive, your doctor probably isn't trained for it, but he doesn't have the time for it, and the medical insurance is not set up for it right now. It cannot be delivered by brief clinical visits alone. This opens the door for metabolic health coaches to help you interpret your labs in a mitochondrial context. Remember, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to interpret your labs for you. I'm going to help you see what they are, and you can talk to your doctor about those interpretations. Okay? Teach phase-based lifestyle sequencing. And we'll do a lot of that if you get involved with me as a coach. Monitor subjective and biometric readiness. I'll teach you all the things that you need to look for that maybe you don't want to bother with lab reports, like your heart rate variability. Get yourself a heart rate watch, and we'll build that into your lifestyle. We want to optimize your lifestyle. And so very much like a coach at a professional sports league helps the individual players optimize their performance, we're going to help you optimize your performance in your everyday life. Coaches will be on the front line of disease reversal, not just wellness support. Okay? The model of chronic disease gets redefined. In the old paradigm, obesity, diabetes, and hypertension were chronic, progressive, and incurable. Right? We're going to throw that model out. In the precision model, these are the signs of adaptive failure, not destiny. They signal where someone is stuck in the cellular energy sequence. We begin to see type 2 diabetes as a metabolic rigidity in your body. We want to make you flexible. Alzheimer's as a bioengineering failure. It's an energy issue in your brain. It's not your destiny based upon genetics. And fatty liver is a mitochondrial overflow. Mitochondrial overflow means that you are not using the correct fuel in your body, and you're reacting to that. More importantly, we recognize the decades-long runway for intervention. It takes years before the stuff becomes something your doctor easily recognizes as symptoms. We catch it early. There are indicators. I don't care how healthy you think you are. Let's check the indicators, because right now, the statistics are 98% of people have some metabolic issue. So there's something that we can probably help you with. Chronic disease becomes an opportunity for reversal, not a terminal diagnosis. Finally, from health span to cell span. Okay? Precision metabolic restoration doesn't just delay disease. It expands the window of high functioning life by preserving cellular energy capacity. Imagine if health systems stratifying patients by mitochondrial flexibility, then you don't even get sick earlier on. Schools and places building policies around metabolic cycles, giving you a chance to get up, walk, do stuff at the office instead of sitting all the time. And coaches guiding people through quarterly metabolic resets the way we do with dental cleanings, right? This should be something you do all the time, and we're here to help you. And it doesn't have to be real expensive, right? This is a future where preventative medicine isn't about fear, it's about freedom. So let me help you with that freedom. So once again, thanks for watching. If you have questions or comments, please leave them in the appropriate section. If you have some ideas that you want me to cover in future videos, leave them as well. And as always, if you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, and share the video with other people who might need it. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.